Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Texas College Fair 2023, hosted by the KCYLNA College and Career Fair Committee. Thank you so much for joining us today to hear more about colleges in Texas. My name is Jamie Sheryl, and I am on the College and Career Fair Committee. I am from New York, and I go to Siena College in New York.
My name is Isabel Poothakary. I'm also on the College and Career Fair Committee. I'm currently a freshman at Washington University in St. Louis.
So KCYLNA created the College and Career Fair Committee just a few months ago, and this is our first event. We felt it would be beneficial to do a college exploration event during college application season. Today, we will hear directly from current students or alumni who enjoyed their time at the school very much and want to share their experiences with you all to help you explore your options as you look into college. Please keep your mics off during the presentations. We will have time for questions at the end of each speaker. We recommend you put the Zoom in the side-by-side gallery. Feel free to message questions in the chat or use the raise hand button during our Q&A time. So first, I'd like to welcome Reshma Karakkattil to speak about the University of Texas at Dallas. Please remember to stay muted and save questions for the end.
All right. Hi, everyone. So great to see all of you. I will share my screen. So, okay. Can you all see my screen? Yeah, okay. All right. Hi, guys. So I went to the University of Texas at Dallas. I actually just graduated this May with my master's in accounting. So just an overview, UTD is what it's commonly known as, is ranked number 3 in best public universities in Texas. It's located in Richardson, Texas. So even though it's called Dallas, it's actually in the suburbs, about 30 minutes from Dallas. It's not really a college town. It's pretty much just a regular suburb. But one thing that's really great is DFW is home to 23 Fortune 500 companies, and all of them have hired UTD students. And if you've been hearing about Dallas, it's kind of an up and coming place in terms of a lot of companies and jobs are over here. In terms of population, it's definitely like a mid-sized school. It has about 31,000 students. It's 68% undergrad, 32% graduate, and then 57% male, 43% female. So it's about equal. And then in terms of diversity, it is a very diverse school, as you can see with this graph. So there are about equal amounts of white people and Asians, but most of our international students are also Asian. So it's actually majority Asian at the school. And then we have, Hispanics, African Americans, representing a pretty good chunk too. So it's a pretty diverse school. And it's one of the reasons why I really wanted to go here. And the student to faculty ratio is 24:1. So it's pretty small. But I think just like most other universities, like it really depends on the class you take. So, I mean, since I was an accounting major, business, I didn't take like chemistry or biology, but my sister did. And those are definitely huge classes, just like they are at a lot of other universities, since they're those like beginning courses. And then they offer a lot of majors, but they're really known for their STEM majors, business, and then research and innovation. So like I said, I majored in accounting. I chose it because I liked math and I liked public speaking, and I was also really bad at physics. So I knew engineering was kind of out of the question. So, and I ended up really liking it. Accounting is known as the language of business. So they say like, if you know accounting, you can understand how a business works. And I feel like that is true. So it is pretty cool. While I was at UTD, I was part of the Davidson Management Honors Program. So that's just specific to the business school. And then they have a 5-year bachelor's and master's program, like we call it fast track. And specifically for accounting, it's called a professional program in accounting, or PPA. And so through that, I did a internship at KPMG, which is one of the big 4 accounting firms. And then when I start work in January, I'll be working full-time with the Government Accounting Standards Board. So just as an overview, if you're a business major at UTD, UTD's business school is number 27 in the nation. You start out taking general courses. I know some business schools, you don't pick a major until later, but at UTD, you do pick a major as soon as you come in. But you still take general courses, so you still take intro to marketing, HR, supply chain management, finance, all of that. You're required to do an internship, which I think is great because that's a reason why UTD has a pretty high job placement rate. And then you're required to do 100 volunteer hours as well. And then some perks about being in the business school is that we have our own career management center. And the general university also has their own as well, where we do our own like job and internship fairs. So in terms of extracurriculars, so UTD has a lot. They have over 400 campus organizations, fraternities and sororities, including a lot of South Asian ones. Although we're not known for our fraternities or sororities, like we don't have the big houses or anything like that. But we do have quite a few. We're mainly known for our South Asian dance teams. If you've heard of UTD Lutch, they placed first at the Legends competition. And Raftar is like our all guys team. Then we do a few dance competitions like Ajanachale and Hansini. And then we do like some of the basic stuff that a lot of colleges offer, like homecoming week and intramural sports are pretty big. And in terms of what sort of things I was involved with, I was part of our undergraduate dean's council. So that was like kind of helping the school with projects to make the school more well known or like fixing things. I was a peer mentor in our honors program. I was part of Beta Alpha Psi, which is a professional fraternity, so it's not really a social fraternity. And then there were a lot of different opportunities that were offered to me. Like one was going to the University of Arizona for a competition. I did not place or do well at all, but I still got to go there for free. So that was pretty exciting. You can always start a new club if there isn't one that suits what you're looking for. So me and my friends started South Asian American Voter Empowerment Club called SAVE. I studied abroad in Finland for a semester. Unfortunately, that was 2020, so I had come home in like 3 months, but still got that experience. And what was great is it was basically free. Like a lot of my scholarships covered everything. And then I worked on campus at the communication lab, which is like helping people with their public speaking, and then the accounting tutoring lab. So in terms of the campus life and academic culture at UTD, it's very academically inclined. So there's no football team. We're Division III sports. Like our big thing is chess. Like our cheerleaders go to the chess games. So you can kind of imagine what kind of culture we have there. We have lots of Indian people. So there are a lot of Indian activities like Diwali, Holi, all that kind of stuff. And then again, we're not in downtown Dallas. We're in the suburbs. So that does also kind of affect the social scene. But I really do feel like it's what you make of it. So it wasn't really that bad when I was there. As for tuition, so just a few more things. So it is the most expensive tuition out of Texas public schools. So it's about $14,000 if you're in state and then $40,000 if you're out of state. But surprisingly, 66% of UTD students graduate with no student debt, which is lower compared to the average in Texas and the average in the nation. And I think the reason for that is that they offer a lot of scholarships. So one thing is like they have a day called Scholars Day where you come in for the campus. And if you come that day, you get your application fee waived. So it's about like $50 that you save when you're applying to UTD. And then there are different things like, you can rent the textbooks for free. You can get on-campus jobs. Business majors specifically get free printing, which is like a really good perk. And then in terms of scholarships, there's one main one. It's called the Academic Excellence Scholarship. You're automatically considered for that if you apply by December 1st. But for all these scholarships, like the earlier you apply to UT, the better. So I got that scholarship. So my tuition was fully covered. And then on top of that, I got an $1,000 stipend every semester for my 4 years of undergrad. If you're like have a really good rank or you have a really, really good SAT score, you could even possibly get $3,000 per semester. I had a few friends that got that package. And then National Merit Scholars get a really good deal at UTD, like you get housing for free and all that stuff, which is why I think we have about 227 National Merit Scholars at UTD. They have Terry Scholars Program, Eugene McDermott Scholars, which is kind of like honor societies as well as scholarship programs. And then they offer for, if you're a top 10% and you go to a accredited Texas high school, you get $1,500 per semester for up to 8 semesters. But all that is based on when you apply. So if you apply late, there might not be much left over for you. So it's always better to apply early. And then you can always apply for yearly and program-based scholarships. So once I got into my master's, my 5th year, I didn't have that 4-year scholarship anymore, but places like the Texas CPA Society, like they offered like $5,000 scholarships and things like that that you could apply for. So definitely recommend, regardless of what college you go to, just look for those opportunities all the time, not just when you first enter college. And finally, so just general advice. I would say one really good thing is to find mentors. Like I feel like I didn't really know all the cool things that UTD offered until I had a mentor. Like there's a freshman mentor program, or I am part of KCYLNA, so I have to plug the mentorship program that we do. So that's another way to find mentors. But they've already been through it. They know all the things that you can be part of and all the opportunities that you can take advantage of. So I think it's a really great opportunity to try to find mentors. And then say yes to opportunities. Like I got to go to Arizona, I got to go to Finland, all that because like I planned ahead. And when you check your email, when you get emails saying like, hey, attend this seminar to learn about this, or like see how you can be part of this new thing, like just go. Like what's the worst thing that could happen? So and then just general advice for like college in general, it's a lot more independent learning than high school. Classes are a lot shorter than they were in high school. So that means you have a lot more free time, but that also means you have to make sure to be organized. And then finally, my big piece of advice right now, I'm working at UTD. I'm working with that 5-year professional program in accounting just until I start my job in January. And so right now I'm reviewing like resumes and all that stuff, because they're all going to be applying for internships next semester. And the biggest thing I see is like people who just focused on school and didn't get involved in any extracurriculars. And although GPA is definitely very important, it's only just one line on your resume. So at some point, like if you're like a 3.7, but were really involved on campus and did a lot of leadership compared to like a 3.9, like that might be something employers may find the 3.7 a little bit more interesting to talk to because you have a lot of experiences that you can, talk about. And they don't have to be school related. Like, for example, if you're accounting, you don't just have to join accounting clubs. Like you can join anything you want. And that actually is usually a little bit more exciting to talk about. So that is what I would say is my biggest piece of advice. Because like I said, applying to a job after college is similar to applying to college. Like you want to have a lot of things that you can talk about, and it should be things that interest you. So yeah, that is a little bit about UTD. Any questions from anybody?
I have a question, Reshma.
Yeah.
Are scores still like, are they required post-COVID, or like admissions, like SAT scores and ACT, are they like?
Yeah, honestly, that's a good question. I don't think as much anymore, but I don't know. So I probably check. I would need to check on that. But yeah, I've been hearing that too. Yeah, I don't think SAT, like you have to submit those scores anymore. And then I see a question from Alvin. So what stood out to you as my favorite experience at UTD? I think definitely studying abroad. Like it was a really cool experience getting to go. I was the only person from my school that was there. It was an exchange. So somebody from Finland came to UTD and I went there. But it was super fun, got to travel around, met a lot of great people, took really interesting classes, actually, surprisingly. And it was really fun. It was definitely something I wish I could have done for a little longer. And the best part was definitely that it was like basically free. So, and then what has been one resource from UTD that you found helpful? Probably just like my professors, I think. Like I feel like I had really great professors, like one in particular, especially that really like guided me on my path in terms of like my career and like courses and opportunities and all that stuff. She's actually the one that I'm working with right now. So building a relationship with her and getting to be part of that 5-year fast track program, that's probably one of like the really good resources that I found when I was at UTD. And then what is something about UTD that I didn't find in other schools? It's really the scholarship. Like I definitely applied to a lot of the schools that you're going to be hearing from today, and I received the most scholarship from UTD. So that really pushed me towards coming there because UTD is like 30 minutes from my house. So I was actually very anti going to UTD because it's so close, but it's hard to say no when you get when you don't have to pay tuition. So it ended up being a good experience. Okay, and then one more. In what ways did UTD prepare you for your career or future endeavors? Um, I think it prepared me a lot, like a lot of the organizations I was part of, and all the like, I guess, academic mentorship I got. Like, for example, having to do that internship because we have to do an internship. I did that internship at KPMG, and then they actually offered me a full-time job after. And so it made that transition from school to work a lot easier because of the requirements that they had in place. So, but yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'll drop my email in the chat. So if you have any other questions, like feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you, Reshma. Okay, so next I'd like to welcome Milcah Poothakary to help us get to know Texas Tech University better.
Okay, hey guys, wait, can y'all hear me / see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, wait, let me share that. Play. Okay. Hi, my name is Milcah. Milcah Poothakary. I am an alumnus from Texas Tech University. I just graduated with my bachelor's this past May 2023. So for those of you that don't know, Texas Tech is located in Lubbock, Texas, which is about 8.5 hours from like the Houston metropolitan area, 4.5 hours from Dallas, and 5.5 hours from Austin. So it's pretty far, but it is West Texas. And you just get used to driving there. That's what everyone does. And we have a few Kanawha kids at the school, so it's nice because like sometimes we'll all carpool together back and forth. Alrighty, so some quick facts is that we have over 40,000 students as of fall 2020. We have a 20-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so it's very similar to, I guess, the experience you had in high school. Like Reshma was saying, whenever you get into your kind of weed out classes like biology and chemistry your freshman year, you're gonna have like 200 or 300 students in those classes. But once you get further along down your major, you're gonna have like 16 to 20 students in those classes. And it's super chill because we also have an honors college program, which you can apply to, and I'll speak on a little bit more a little later, in which the classes are even smaller. So it'll be like 16-to-1 ratio, which is very nice. We are a Carnegie Tier 1 research university. Essentially, this just means we have a lot of funding going towards research. We have lots of professors giving out lots of publications, literally for anything. So if it's like, even their school of dance has the research opportunity. So whatever it be, there is something to research in, which is crazy because I feel like everyone is fighting for research, especially when you get into kind of the more medical fields, for those opportunities. So tech literally just hands them to you and they're like, here. And it's actually very cool because they match you with professors. So I worked in like a neuroergonomics and vigilance lab for 3 years of my undergrad. And then we have 10 academic colleges and 150 academic programs. So within Lubbock itself, we have all the undergraduate programs, but we also have the School of Law, the School of Veterinary Medicine, which is important because we only have 2 big vet schools in Texas, which is A&M and Texas Tech, and then the Health Sciences Center, which includes all the like occupational therapy, physical therapy, physician assistant, med school, dental school, etc. Alrighty, so here are an example of the different academic colleges that we offer. I personally fell under the College of Arts and Sciences because I got my bachelor's of arts in psychology, and I fell under the honors college because I graduated with honors from the honors college. But there's obviously like an engineering school, College of Education, which has a 100% pass rate. We have our Rawls College of Business, and so it goes on and on. Alrighty, so we have a 550 plus student organizations, which is really nice because despite being far from home, you will find a community here at Tech. You'll find lots of friends, and it's really important that you branch out and try to find that sense of community your freshman year so you don't feel isolated while you're there and very far. We have 19 residence halls on campus itself. We have a very big campus. So you don't necessarily need your car while you're there if you're living on campus. That's how it was my freshman year. I just lived in the honors hall. We have 30 plus dining venues, which you have access to. So you can eat all day long, unlimited food, which is very nice and very beneficial for the freshman 15. And then we have a really big rec center, which is 3 stories high. And so there's like, I don't even know. I can't even name half the equipment in there because I never used it. There's just so much. And like we have a pool that's basically the water park in Lubbock. So it was pretty cool, pretty fun. So let's talk tuition. Texas Tech is actually one of the cheaper schools in Texas. Our tuition itself is only like 11K. I say only 11K because when you start looking at other schools in Texas, you'll be like, oh, wait, yeah, that's pretty cheap. Because our yearly total with this is including room, board, book, supplies, transportation, miscellaneous. It's about like 27,000, and that's for Texas and bordering counties. So people that live in New Mexico and Oklahoma. Now, when you're stepping outside of Texas, it'll be about 39K for total tuition and everything. However, we do have a lot of scholarships. And fun fact, our School of Medicine is actually one of the cheapest medical schools in the United States. So a lot of our med students recover from their debt very fast, which is very unusual because med students usually have like 10 years of debt. So yeah. Okay, great. And so we also have lots of scholarships to offer. We have like a presidential scholarship that everyone qualifies for. You just have to have a 3.0 GPA, and you get a huge amount of money, and it's really up to the student themselves if they're going to apply for the scholarships. But Tech has about like 49% scholarship endowment for the different colleges, and so they want to give you money, they want to recruit students, and so it's really just about applying to those scholarships. Which, yeah, you can read a lot more about the breakdown of the different scholarships to see if you qualify based off of like FAFSA or whatever. And here are some facts. So we are a top 100 public university. We are number 72 best value university, number 9 in workforce preparation, 99% placement in the job field within 6 months. We are a very diverse campus, and we have 5-star premium campus rating. So these are some external scholarships, which are not necessarily through Texas Tech, but externally. I am from Houston, so I applied to the Houston Rodeo and Livestock Scholarship. I didn't raise cattle growing up. I didn't, tend to sheep, but you are able to apply for this. I literally went to like a pit bull concert or something when I was 5, and they give you 20K, it's crazy. So they're just giving out money for fun. And so it's definitely recommended to apply for any scholarships that you can get. And then a lot of the Knanaya people that live in the Houston area are zoned to Fort Bend Independent School District. And I was able to get like a leadership scholarship through Fort Bend ISD as well for like a K. So me personally, I was a psychology major with a bachelor's of arts, and I had minors in biology and chemistry to fulfill my pre-medical requirements. I graduated with honors from the Honors College, and I was a part of the undergraduate to medical school initiative. I was a candidate for it. It's a early acceptance BA/BSMD program. I chose to go with the bachelor's of arts route, and they waive you of your MCAT. They choose 8 students straight from high school for this program. And then I graduated undergrad in 3 years. So a little bit about Tech is that we have lots of special programs, just like the ones I just mentioned. The Undergraduate to Medical School Initiative is the one I'm in. 8 students are admitted annually, and you're notified your admission into med school while you're a senior in high school. So literally, like the people watching this right now, for the parents, like it's very important to apply early because you are saving the stress of an MCAT from your child, which is really important because Texas Tech is also an MD school, which they've taken out a lot of these programs in Texas. They're trying to get rid of them because they feel that people go into medical school very young, but we do still have it. So it's very important to look into that. We also have the early acceptance program, which is available to students after their second year of undergrad. You just have to be a part of the honors college, and it's the same dealio. MCAT is waived, and you just have to have a certain GPA, and you get automatic acceptance into medical school. And then we also, the TTU School of Health Professions also has different pathways for different fields in medicine, not necessarily medical school. We also have a Master of Athletic Training, Doctor of Occupational Therapy, Doctor of Physical Therapy. So you still, you still have to go through the different programs, but anyways, we have a lot of programs available to students. And now I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the work-life balance as a student. So I was in the undergraduate to research a scholars program throughout undergrad. Through that program, I actually worked for money, but as compensation, I actually worked for course credit hours too. And so because of this, I was able to graduate in 3 years as opposed to 4. Like I said, we have access to lots of research. And so these professors were giving me hours in their classes as compensation for doing research. And then you're also presenting in research conferences through this. The Student Union building at Texas Tech also has availability for on-campus jobs, and they're very flexible with accommodating to your campus schedule and your school schedule. You can also work as a teaching assistant in various science labs. You can also do DoorDash. It's a college town, so you make a lot of money off of DoorDash. I honestly did this too. And then I also worked as an ER scribe because the Covenant and the UMC hospital systems are, they're in relation to the TTUHSC, which is our School of Medicine, our School of Health Professions. And so it was nice because it was all set up in a way that you were able to take on part-time jobs while being a full-time student and still go on with your life. Okay, let's see. Okay, now in terms of extracurriculars, I was in a sorority. I was in Greek life. I was in Delta Phi Omega Sorority Incorporated. I was the assistant dean of process, the new member educator, as well as a historian. I was a part of the Multicultural Greek Council. In Texas Tech, the Greek life is very big. Everyone joins a sorority or fraternity. We have a Greek circle where all the Greek houses are located. You don't necessarily need to live in them. I didn't live in any. I lived in my own apartment. I was also a part of the Dancers with Soul Texas Tech hip hop dance team. So we would dance at the halftime shows, the D1 halftime show. So it was pretty cool because you'd be in a court filled with a lot of people. So it was fun. I was a president select ambassador. I was a tour guide for the university. So I would give tours all the time and walk backwards. I was also an honors college ambassador, and I studied abroad in Sevilla, Spain. So Texas Tech, interestingly, actually requires their engineers to study abroad. It's a requirement to graduate with an engineering degree. So it's super cool because it's forcing you to have fun and go abroad. And we actually have a Texas Tech campus in Sevilla, Spain. So you are going to school at Texas Tech in Sevilla. And we also have a campus in Costa Rica. So you are like, I was literally going to a Texas Tech building there. Like it wasn't like another school, which was really nice. So there's some pictures of me with my friends in Spain. Yeah. Okay. And then in terms of campus life and Lubbock life, you have access to all D1 sports games like basketball, football, track, baseball, all with your student ID card. We have a thing called the First Friday Art Trail in Lubbock, which is every first Friday of the month where a lot of artists, whether it be art, performing, live shows, live music, everyone comes out and kind of just celebrates. And it's a really big community celebration that happens every month. Catholic churches are walking distance from campus. So I know the parents would love that because you don't necessarily need a car to go to church. You can always walk. We have prairie dogs, which a lot of people probably haven't heard about, but they're animals in West Texas. And so really cool. They're like squirrels that aren't actually squirrels. And then we have Broadway, which is a strip of entertainment. Okay, and then here are some honors college points of contact. This is chad.kane@ttu.edu. He is our honors college dean. And then any other info, you can email the admissions at ttu.edu. But other than that, thank you. Reckham, guns up. Hope you become a future Red Raider.
Does anyone have any questions?
What's your favorite tradition at Texas Tech?
Yes, we have a lot of traditions. My favorite is during kickoff at our football games, we would throw tortillas, like all the student section, we throw tortillas into the field. So it's pretty cool. Everyone would just hide them in their cowboy boots. Yeah. I think before I went to college, something that I wish that I knew was to branch out as early as you can and develop. I think networking is the most important thing you can do while you're in college because it gets you to where you get within that certain amount of years. And you're only in college for so long, and then you hit the adult life. So definitely network early on, starting like the first semester of your freshman year. Okay, David asked, what made you decide to attend Texas Tech? It was the early acceptance program that I was in with the School of Medicine. I didn't want to take my MCAT. And then also because my undergrad was completely paid for. So it was just more of a financial reason. And so it was better for my parents and for me at the end of the day. And finances do matter when it comes to college, so definitely consider that. What was your favorite part about studying abroad? I took a weekend trip to Portugal while I was studying abroad in Spain, so it was cool. I got to see boats, so it was very nice. Pros of graduating in 3 years. I like this question, Cheryl. Pros are that I actually by default got a free year off because my contract with Texas Tech School of Medicine starts in 2024 if I graduate in 4 years. So it's nice because I can make some money while I am, back home. But cons, I guess I kind of forgot how to do school. I don't know. There's not really any cons, but I think that if anything, it's a pro because you're saving money by doing like less school and you're just going faster. How often did you go home? So if you are down for a 16-hour drive, you can go home every weekend, but I personally did not opt to that. I would try for once every 2 months. Yeah. My favorite activities on campus were definitely the basketball games because I was dancing at them and just the vibe. We were all swag surfing together in the crowds. It's definitely like that was the most memorable part of college, being going to like a state school and being in a college town. You get the whole experience while also getting your education. And then off campus was definitely just the nightlife and being around and like the first Friday art trail, like I mentioned. So we have a program called the Undergraduate Research Scholars. So they'll give you course credit as compensation for payment. So for 2 semesters, you can do course credit, and then 2 semesters you can do payment. So I basically did 4 semesters of it. And then I did 2 semesters for payment and then 2 semesters for course credit. So it fulfilled like all my psychology credits basically within the span of 2 semesters. And then the ER job I had was a outside of campus job that I was just strictly getting paid for. That wasn't a course.
Thank you so much, Milcah. If you want to send your email or something, you can do so. If not, it's okay. Next, I'd like to welcome Edwin Makil to talk about his time at University of Texas at Austin.
Hello everyone, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I went to UT Austin. I graduated this past May, and no, I don't have a PowerPoint ready, but I'll go over some facts about UT, and I'll make sure to cover everything that I have written down. So UT Austin, we are located right in the middle of heart of Austin, Texas. One of the best places to be at for college. We are the best public university in Texas. We're #1. And we're at number 32 ranked out of all the universities, both public and private in the United States. So that's a big accomplishment for UT and just being there in general. Just to talk a little bit more about academics, all the programs at UT are pretty great. We have colleges ranging from just your natural sciences to business, engineering, to some grad school programs. We have a law school, a pharmacy school, a medical school, a social work school. So we have basically anything you can think of. We have something at UT to cover it. Some things I have down for undergraduates specifically is Procol School of Engineering. This is the 11th best engineering program in the country, with chemical engineering being #9, civil being #11, electrical and computational engineering being #11, mechanical being #12, and petroleum being the 2nd best program in the country. Our Macomb School of Business is the 5th best business school in the country, with accounting being the 1st best program in the country, finance #4, and management and information system, MIS, being #4 too. Our computer science program is the 8th best program in the country. Our College of Nursing, so for those who are interested in nursing, we have a direct program at UT where you you enter your first year, freshman year as a bachelor's of nursing student, and you graduate with a BSN. This eliminates any type of entrance exam requirements you have to take or reapplying, and you still get the best college experience through nursing, and you finish up with a nursing degree. and we have the sixth best architecture program. The culture at UT, it's very much like work hard, play hard culture. UT will set you up with all the resources you need to succeed. It's up to you to grab it and use it. I think it was mentioned before, like networking. UT does have a really big alumni network. We have some of the biggest companies in the country come for college and career fair. Career fairs, you get to make connections with a lot of recruiters. So they do set you up for success. So it's up to you to use it. Austin also being like such a live city. Personally, for me, I had the best 4 years of college living in Austin and going to UT because it was like the best city. Like you had the best time with your friends. However, it's up to you to stay on track, to make sure you gotta like study hard in order to like, I guess, have the most fun. There's not a thing as like an easy class at UT. Your science classes or your math classes are just as hard as your history classes or your literature classes at UT. So they have like high expectations. There's a famous saying at UT that what starts here changes the world, and it's because they really like put all their resources into their students to make the best version of themselves. Some extracurriculars. So UT is really big on fraternity and sorority life. There's a whole like office dedicated to it. We have some of the biggest frats in the state over here, if not the country. I was part of Delta Upon Psi. It's also called D-Psi. It's a South Asian fraternity, so we're more like, I guess you could say, a cultural frat out of anything. It was a good experience. I think it was a good break from the academic aspect of it. There's also another organization that I was personally part of. It's called One Way. It was a Malu Christian organization. So it's like another way to connect with other Malu Christians, and like we had prayer groups on Sundays, we had small group prayers. So it's a like, stay religious. We have a lot of spirit groups and a lot of academic organizations. So whether it's like computer science, business, we have so many frats and organizations specifically for academics as a way of networking and meeting students alike you. Also, there's a Catholic church on campus called the UT Catholic Church. So pretty convenient for you to stop by church anytime. They have masses from like 8 a.m. to all the way to like 7 p.m. on Sundays. So like at the end of after studying like a whole day at the library on Sunday, you can attend a mass before heading back to your apartment. Also, in terms of housing, mostly everyone at UT lives at this area called West Campus, which is like right across from UT. And this is where like it's a good experience because all the students are living in one area, and it's only usually students that live in this area. So you see a lot of people, it's always like you're on a college campus, no matter where you are. And that's like part of the experience of going to UT. Some notable alumni that I want to mention is, so as you all know, Matthew McConaughey, he's actually our biggest UT alumni. He actually teaches a class there at UT, an acting class. So sometimes we'll run into him on campus. Kevin Durant, and most people like don't know, Dr. Goodwater, he actually won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry last year for lithium ion batteries. So that was actually developed at UT. So there's so many alumni and so many other people at UT that are actually like, set out to change the world. So like UT is very inspiring onto that, and they set you up for success in that factor. And for complete transparency reasons, I'm going to go talk a little about tuition and scholarships. So tuition is fairly decent at UT. It's around like $10,000 to $11,000 for Texas residents, and out of state is probably like a little bit double that, probably $20,000. UT, and that's like the standard rate across Texas. Mostly all public universities in Texas are around that rate. So it's nothing different. However, when it comes to scholarships, UT is not the best school for scholarships. So, and the reason for that being is that usually in order to get into UT, you have to graduate within the top 6% of your class. So everyone that you see around UT are in the top of their class. So there's not a thing like academic scholarship there, because everyone coming there were already like part of their like the top students in their class. However, there are some scholar programs you can apply to, and if you are to get in, you will be considered for scholarship, but these are very hard and very limited, and with the number of applicants they get, they're like pretty hard to get. But for me personally, what I did was like when I knew I was going to UT, and they weren't giving a direct scholarship in UT, I applied to many local scholarships in my county. So like if you're from Fort Bend, ICR, Missouri City, I think Milcah also mentioned some earlier, like please hit me up. I can give you a list of ones I applied. There's like a Fort Bend Medical Association, an Optimist Club, Fort Bend ISD gives like a gift scholarship. So like there's so many programs and so many things you can do. And these might all be like, they seem like small amounts, like $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000, but they add up to a big amount. I was able to get a lot of money through that. And talking about just application in general, so UT is really strict with their deadlines. So I'm pretty sure early admission decision is already done. So the next is the regular admission, which is due December 1st. It's like a general date throughout every year. They have the same date. I don't know if they changed recently, but that's when I applied. So it's coming up fast. And if you are in the top 6%, I believe, of your class, I don't know if it moved up to 5, you will get automatically admitted to the school right away as soon as you apply, as long as you finish all your requirements. However, in order to get into a certain major, whether it's business or engineering, these are a little more competitive majors. It might take a couple of months to really put work into your application, into your essays. They do then review SAT scores and other test scores. But getting into UT, it is a bit difficult. They preferably take only top like 6% of your. You have to graduate on top of your class. But after that, it's pretty good. All in all, I just want to say UT is a great school to be at. They set you up for success and they set you up with all the resources you need. It might not be the best option when thinking like finances wise, but in a long run, think of it as like you're investing in yourself. It's a big investment to make in yourself, but the end result will always come out great by going to UT. Thank you. Yeah, that's it.
Does anyone have any questions for Edwin?
Have you ever seen Matthew McConaughey on campus?
I did actually once. I did, and then you know what? Like he was wearing a mask and everything. It was during COVID. Like I swear it was him. I walked right by him, and then I was like, I really wanted like, should I talk to him? I turned around to go say hi to him, but like I couldn't find him. I walked on like the campus like twice, that building twice to see if I could see him again, but I couldn't. But I'm pretty sure that was him. But he does come to like big events, and you'll see him like you'll see him up close, but like it's hard to get like see him. Also, like I think the class teachers they hide like the location and like the name of the course. So it's like hard to find him, but you'll see him on campus at least like once.
Wow.
Someone
Oh, okay. I think, yeah. So yes, UT is actually known for business. So Macomb School of Business is actually like a pretty reputable school in the country. They get a lot of funding and a lot of donors. I know like I have a couple of friends who were in the business school and they had a lot of resources. And I know like I said, like UT sets you up for success. I know with the business school specifically, so I think you go in your freshman year as undeclared business major. So you take all your core business classes, but by your sophomore year, you will be declaring a major. And they also make you take like classes for your work, like just for like personal professional development, where like you'll learn resume, like how to write a proper resume. I know I would personally have my resumes like reviewed by like Macomb's people or like students I knew at Macomb's because like I know they knew exactly like how to format these and like things to do like that. So yeah, they're known for their business. Their career fairs are some of the best fairs. Like I think everyone's invited to go to because you get to make connections from some big companies. Oh, Milcah, I didn't see your question. Okay, what was my favorite part of UT? So I would say I think joining DSI was like I guess my favorite part of UT. Like having that balance between school and just like social life. Because like I guess like just I guess like for mental well-being, I like wanted that. And I made a lot of friends. Like my friend group was all part of like the frat sorority connections, and like we also had a Greek circle, and just having that in general really like just helped me a lot in college, and like that's something like I actually like enjoyed throughout college.
What's like the typical class size?
So they are pretty big. So your core classes, like when you start off as a freshman, I've had classes, I think my Gen Chem class is around 500, 600 people. It was in a big auditorium. So they are pretty big, but as you take your advanced classes towards the end of your curriculum, I think when I was a senior, I was like at classes around like 45 to 60, like my last few classes as a public health major. But yeah, so they start off pretty big and there are a lot of weed out classes, but towards the end, like it gets pretty small.
So if no one else has any questions, thank you so much, Edwin. for presenting. Next, I'd like to welcome Sidharth Kaipparettu to help us get to know University of Houston.
All right. Thank you guys. My name is Sidharth Kaipparettu. I am from Houston itself, going to University of Houston. And so I'm a double major at doing management of information systems and finance as well at the C.T. Bauer College of Business at the University of Houston. I'm a member of MISO, Management of Information Systems Student Org. I was an ELAS for freshmen, which is exclusive for Bauer students. And in the sophomore year, I was a peer leader. So we just advise freshman students that come in Bauer, and we give them guidance to a successful college career. And I currently work as a UH ambassador and also a marketing intern for the admissions office. So I give a lot of tours to prospective freshmen, and we handle the social media for our admissions page. And this summer, I'm joining Productivity. It's a consulting group as our internal audit and financial advisory intern. So very excited for that. I'm also a BP Future Talent Scholar, BP, British Petroleum. So yeah, about UH, there's a lot of opportunities. 16 academic colleges. Our student to faculty ratio is like 23-1. So even if it's like a huge class, which like 200 people or 300 people, we have TAs for everybody. So the bigger class, the more TAs and the more professors. Along with that, that's only the freshman year, with the big classes, so it gets smaller and smaller. And pretty much all the criteria for the colleges are same to enter, but business, engineering, NSM, natural science, and mathematics, some of them require a bit more. So if you're submitting with test scores, they will require a higher test score. I know NSM requires you to have you must have pre-calculus done in high school itself. So just make sure you guys check on what your interest is and what pathway, what they require. And yeah, we're a pretty big school. We got 47,000 students. Tier 1 research university. So not just for the people in the lab, but we got research opportunities for business students, engineering students, arts, you name it. Even as an undergrad, you guys can do plenty of research. Just email your professor and they'll give you like 1,000 options right there. We're the third largest in the state, so with the 47,000 plus. And with that, we're not small on diversity. We're the second most diverse public university in the entire nation. So we got people from everywhere, 130 nations representing us. We got 100 plus multicultural organizations, like SASA is one of them. I go to the SASA events. There's like ISA, and there's plenty. I can't name it all. And there's like every 5 minutes you walk, you'll see somebody speaking a different language on the campus. That's how diverse we are here. So,
Oh wait, sorry. I just have a question. Are you sharing your slides? I see the first slide. I just want to make sure.
Oh, you only see the first slide?
Yeah. Sorry,
Oh.
I should have said something before. I just want to make sure because it sounded like you were going to a different slide.
I've been changing. All right. Do you guys see it now?
Mm,
I don't know why it's not doing that.
I still see it. I see the screen with all the slides on the side. Yeah.
No, I see it. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, I see this one. This slide. Or
The
this.
diversity buzzword?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do you guys see this?
Yes, now it's working.
Okay, that's great. Anyways, I'll keep it like this instead. I
Okay,
had
so
a full screen, probably that's why. Anyway, so I hope you guys understood this. So go multiple colleges. We're pretty big on research, and we're pretty diverse. So that was the previous slides for that. And when it comes to extracurricular, 575 plus organizations. If you don't find an organization where that suits you, you can make your own. Just ask a professor and a few students, gather them up, and you can also ask for funding. 15 intercollegiate sports teams. So our sports, we're not small at all. Our football team just entered the Big 12 conference. So we got some exciting games going on this season. It's also the preseason right now for basketball. And last season, we were like #1 in the conference. So we have a lot of hype for it, especially basketball. And all our home games are free for students for any of the sports. Our women's swimming team is like #1 in the nation or something like that. I just found that out like yesterday. But 45 plus frats and sororities, 15 plus campus ministries. So we have no dominating campus ministry here. So we can practice your religion at the AD Bruce Religion Center. And then, yeah, plenty of residential halls and food. We got different food trucks coming every day. So when it's about tuition and fees, for residents, it's around 11K. And this is one whole year. Keep in mind, there's not a semester, this is one whole year for 2 15-hour semesters. If you're a non-resident, that's around 27K is what you're looking at. But you can become a resident just after staying here for 1 year. The room and board, it's around 10K. And the books and supplies. So the books and supplies, it says 1,400, but that's not accurate at all. I don't know why they put that price, but it's a lot lower. I've never even spent maybe more than $300 for books and supplies. That's an extreme stretch. That's like if you buy the fanciest pens and pencils and the whole MacBook every semester. But the living at home cost, so that's like an estimate they give you, considering the gas and you never know what if your parents are making you pay rent at their home. That's what it's looking at over there. And with all that money, you had to pay it, but we got scholarship opportunities for you guys. So early admission scholarship opportunity was at November 1st. So the deadline has passed for that. So now it's just regular admission. And but even in college, you guys can apply to many scholarships. So we got a Scholarship Universe app where they give you a whole bunch of school scholarships, and they have external scholarships from other companies as well, like BP and many other small companies giving out plenty of scholarships. Some scholarships are from your specific college as well. So there's a lot of opportunities for you guys. And it's still a lot worth it because compared to the national average, we're a lot lower when it comes to the annual cost. And our typical debt is also a lot lower. And the salary we get after is usually higher. So it's a best value college according to Forbes and Princeton Review and US News. So I would say it's pretty worth it. And I put this slide for last because at Houston, we have a lot of opportunities. And we're the largest medical center in the world, energy capital, 24 Fortune 500 companies. So why I put this last was we have a lot of opportunities. So one thing I wish I knew as a freshman itself is you can apply to internships even as a freshman. Some people used to say it's only juniors that get it, but that's not true at all. There are some great freshman opportunities. even as a freshman, even as a sophomore. There's a lot of opportunities, and they're just like 5 minutes away or 10 minutes away, right there at downtown. So take advantage of it. Try to participate as much as you can. And yeah, that's pretty much it from my side. I'll drop in my email. There's a lot more to talk about UH. So yeah, you can go on hours about it. So if you ever want to discuss more, I'll drop in my email and I'll let you know. Any questions?
How many Knanaya people would you say go to U of H?
Oh, that's a lot. Knanaya people. I don't like a lot, like a good amount of our Houstonians go to UH itself. So I don't have a specific number, but damn, at least like every like 30 people or 20, I don't know, per grade go to. I know like my brother's grade now, there's like a couple of them, like 10, 20 of them going to UH next semester. And it just, there's a lot of Malus. You can't really identify which one's Knanaya, which one's not Knanaya too. But trust me, there's a good amount. Is UH a good school for business? Oh, for sure. UH has the #1 entrepreneurship program in the entire nation for the past 5 consecutive years. So if you're looking at that, that's a great opportunity. MIS, finance, we have a lot of, marketing, everything. They're really good in the nation. And we have a lot of opportunities. We have companies coming just for business students at Bauer students. So we got companies coming for company meetings at the campus for like Google, the Big Four, Microsoft. All these big companies are coming just for Bauer students here. So the options are limitless if you join Bauer. And there's many organizations to, present them for you. So like MISO or ABSA, Asian Business Student Association, and much more like that. What do you think is unique about UH? Unique, I would say it's the diversity and the opportunities. So like the networking gives you a lot of options. Especially as a ambassador, what I've been feeling is that you meet a lot of people, and from that you can network a lot. You can see a lot of opportunities, and some of these opportunities I would never have known just by only talking to Knanaya people. I mean, yes, of course, I talk to Knanaya people here, and they're very smart and they got great opportunities going. But having the non-Knanaya people as well gives, like, knowing them, talking to them, gave me a lot more opportunities along with that. One reason I decided to attend UH over the other schools is Bauer itself. Again, Bauer College of Business is really good. They have their like own private app for the Bauer students, exclusive for only them. So it's like LinkedIn, and it's connected to many big companies. And with that, that's how I got my productivity internship. And yeah, there's a lot of opportunities at Bauer. What I heard before I joined. But after I joined, I realized it's not just Bauer itself, but the whole university is really welcoming, and we're filled with opportunities. And I know a lot of NSN students, like pre-med students, and like pre-med has like a lot of opportunities at the Milcah Center. So it's everything close by. It's a lot. It's very convenient, and you can still go home anytime you want. You can live on campus if you want. I've been commuting for the past 2 years, and I'm now looking to living on campus. What are some prereqs for your major? So I didn't have too many prereqs for my major. For MIS, I think it was like just pretty basic prereqs. I don't, nothing on top of my head came as certain prereqs like test scores. You have to have a certain test score for SAT if you're submitting it with SAT scores. Depending on your rank, you can find it on the Bauer brochure. And if you're not submitting with test scores, just submit with a resume, and they require essay as well. Are UH students able to take internships during the school year or mostly during the summer? Yes, no, you can take it during the school year. There are plenty of opportunities. There's more opportunities, like there's fewer opportunities during the school year than the summer. When you're a junior and you're looking after your junior year, the summer, then there's plenty of opportunities, but any other time there is, it's just harder to find than the summer one. So job opportunities for MIS and what MIS is. So MIS is Management of Information Systems, and it's like business and tech together. So it's like it's IT field, but like a bit more business side. So it's not 100% coding. You're like in the project management, you're a product manager, or there's a vast amount of opportunities. Data analytics, business analyst. Yeah, the list goes on and on. That's one reason I joined MIS, because I don't know specifically even right now what to do, but whatever it is, I can always change. Right now, I'm going to internal audit and financial advisory at Productivity, but if I don't like it, I can easily change it. And yeah, let me drop in the email as well.
Thank you so much, Sid. Next, I'd like to welcome our final speaker, Sheryl Cherukara, to share about her experience at Texas A&M.
All right. Hey guys, can y'all hear me okay? Clear? Okay. So I'm gonna start off by saying howdy, because that's our official greeting here at Texas A&M. So like Jamie said, my name is Sheryl Cherukara. I'm from Houston, and I'm currently a senior public health major here at Texas A&M University, located in College Station, Texas. I'm getting ready to graduate this December, but I didn't come prepared with a slide deck, but I'll just speak. Some of these presentations earlier got me ready to like transfer, and I'm getting ready to graduate. So kudos to all of you that came prepared. But just a quick basic overview of the location, size, and diversity of the school. College Station, as the name implies, is definitely a college town. Not much is going on outside of the college and campus, but Bryan, Texas is a neighboring city with less of a college town. This is where most families live. It's more of that suburban community feeling. But there are a lot of major cities like Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, all within like an hour, 3 hours, just driving distance. So a lot of us do go there on the weekends if we're, try to escape the college town vibe for a weekend. But as you know, everything's bigger in Texas. So A&M is the best example of this. Campus is huge and the student body is extremely large. We have, if I'm not mistaken, the largest student body population in the country. So that is nearly 75,000 students, and campus is nearly 5,200 acres. So as you can imagine, it is pretty difficult to get around campus because it is so large. But you get used to it. Our bus system is really good about, getting us where we need to be on time, and you get used to walking a lot, but there's also scooters and different ways to get around campus. But as far as diversity goes, the school is 50% white. So everywhere you look, there is a white person, and we're in Texas. So it's a lot of Southern country culture. And it can be kind of overwhelming at first. I mean, especially like being Knanaya, I feel like growing up, we're taught to be around Indian people all the time. Especially for me, I went to a high school that was like mostly Asian. And so it definitely was a big adjustment at first. But I mean, I think it's a good introduction into the real world because you're not around only a certain group of people. You'll have to be able to talk to different people of different ethnicities and different cultures. So it's definitely something that you learn to deal with. So 50% white, 22% Hispanic, and 11% Asian. So this is, I feel like any school, there's a larger, ethnicity that's more common, but it does vary with your major and your field of study. But since I'm under the School of Public Health, I feel like I'm more around Asian people, but there's still a lot of white people that I'm around. And another thing I'll add is like within my program specifically, we're very big on group projects. So I don't know, I feel like one of the biggest things I've learned is how to deal with people. Like there's people that you're just not going to work well with, and then there's people that you work really well with, but you just have to learn to, come to a compromise and, get what needs to be done. And so as far as extracurriculars go, there is any and every organization on campus. We have a big Greek life, but personally, it's not something that I was very interested in coming into college. But there are people that come into college, they already know like which sorority they want to join, and they start that process like that summer before they start their freshman year of college. But we also do have men's and women's orgs. And a big thing that I advise, especially incoming freshmen, we have flows, which are freshman leadership organizations. So those are specific organizations just for freshmen that are joining, that they can join and find a community and, start their college journey together. And then there's also SLOs, which are sophomore leadership organizations. So those freshmen will obviously move on to sophomore leadership organizations. So that kind of enables you to find that community that you're looking for coming into college. Me personally, my start of college was affected by COVID, which obviously I think when it comes to finding your community in college, you want to do it early on, because I feel like once you find a community, you can grow on with it the further you are in college. But nevertheless, whether it's a professional org, a social org, you'll find it. You just have to put yourself out there, because it takes a lot of coming out of your comfort zone to find something that you enjoy. But okay, so for me personally, some organizations that I was a part of or still currently in. The first one that I joined freshman year of college is an organization called Thrive. So it's a South Asian InterVarsity where it's kind of a religious organization, but like mixed with social events for a lot of Muslim people on campus. And so this is where we have a lot of praise and worship nights along with different social events. It's a great way to meet people while you're strengthening your faith and maintaining your faith, because obviously like going to a different church from where you grew up, it's a small like adjustment going to a different church, but it's nice to be around people that practice your faith, and you can go to church together with them. And so yeah, I'd recommend joining Thrive. A lot of Malu people, and strengthen your faith. And then another thing that I'm part of is the Mays Healthcare Alliance, which is an organization meant for students in the Mays Business School and Texas A&M Health Science Center. So it's aimed to provide students who are interested in the intersection of healthcare and business, but different networking opportunities like professional development and speaker events. And so this is something that I joined and kind of helped me develop professionally. And the last org that I'd kind of highlight is the Public Health Student Organization. So that's very specific to my major. And I think it's one of the best things that I joined all of college, just because of how much it's helped me in my major and just the many different experiences that came with it. And so we host socials, have guest speakers that come on career development. And then a quick little fun fact, the sponsor of this organization is actually a previous professor of mine. And it's really good and valuable to know your professors outside of class, because I feel like when you get to know them in the evening, like if it's just a organization meeting, there's a different, like more personable attitude that comes with it versus while they're in class, delivering the lecture material. And getting to know them outside of class, they're definitely always there to like help you out in anything and everything, as long as you are there and like showing that that you're interested, and they'll be willing to help. And so with extracurriculars, I highly recommend joining one professional org and one social org to keep yourself involved. The biggest thing I learned is quality over quantity, as they can be time consuming, and it's better to be committed to attending the events the entire semester to get the most out of it. And so that's something that was really important to me and something important to consider. Okay, so next thing on the list, sorry, I'm just making sure. Okay, so campus, academic, culture, social scene. So A&M is a very big school with big school spirit. So Aggie spirit is everywhere. If you look at my closet right now, it's like all maroon and white. Like that's all I have. A&M shirts, like that's my entire wardrobe right now. And I guess there's a big stereotype that A&M is a cult, and especially because a lot of students that go here are like third, fourth generation Aggies. Like they have Aggies, like their great grandfather and then their grandfather and then their dad, like all were Aggies. But me, I didn't come from that. Like I had a cousin that graduated in 2019 from A&M, but I didn't come into college like knowing the entire like traditions and the everything that's associated with, like, it was a lot to come into, but it grows on you. I swear there's something in the air out here, like the Aggie spirit, like you just get consumed into it. I try not to, like it just happens over like the course of your time here. But the biggest thing that we have is football season. It's football culture. So the fall semester basically revolves around football games. Even if you don't know anything about football, it's just the experience of going out. It usually begins Friday night, and we'll have something called Midnight Yell, where at midnight, all students will gather in Kyle Field and learn the yells or cheers for the games on Saturday. And then the tailgate would take place on Saturday before the game. And I think our last game attendance was over 100,000 people. So it's all current students, former students, like all Aggie alumni come for the weekend. And it's just good time just to hang out, have some fun. And basically nothing else goes on in the city while there's a football game that day. It's pretty crazy, but it's so much fun. And there's like, honestly, I feel like you should just look up the A&M traditions, because like if I went through all of them, we'd be here like all night. But there's a lot of interesting ones. But I'd say my favorite part about A&M culture is this piece of gold on my finger, the Aggie ring. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it serves as the most recognizable symbol of the Aggie network, which creates an instant connection between Aggies long after graduation. So some people boast about the ring and how it has enabled them to receive their first job offer, especially as there's a saying that goes, Aggies help other Aggies and Aggies hire other Aggies. So something just to, I mean, I don't know, I haven't experienced it yet, but I know people that have. And so the ring is definitely a visible symbol of the Aggie network. And so as far as tuition and scholarships go, this is probably where I like call my dad and like let him explain, because but I'm just kidding. But like simply put, A&M is not very generous with scholarships because they're not enticing people to come here, because there's already like a lot, like I said, largest student population. There's already a lot of people applying, and like these are like some people's only options, like because of just wanting to go here that bad. But national merit scholarships are probably the most common. And if you do your research, you'll find different foundations like the Terry Foundation and different scholar programs depending on your major. For me, after like, I think my freshman and sophomore year, within your department or within your specific school, you have a certain GPA requirement, and then they'll start like just handing out money. So that's something to look into if your specific school has scholarships available once you're enrolled. Look into applying for those, and like those will definitely serve you well. And in-state tuition is typically 13,000, and out-of-state can typically be like 40,000. Most Texas colleges, most of the students are in-state residents. But yeah, definitely cost is something to consider, but I don't know. I think when it comes to colleges, you definitely get what you pay for, and it's definitely a good investment on your education and on your future. So, okay, last thing was things I wish I knew before coming into college. There are so many. I do believe that, I don't know, like looking back on college, I think there's no way to be fully prepared for what you're getting yourself into. And that's a good thing. I don't think that you should be like coming into college fully prepared and, have all these expectations, because it's a period of tremendous growth and change. Every semester of college is completely different. And that's what makes it so fun. You're constantly adjusting, and you're constantly like, adapting to the situation. And it's an exciting time to learn about who you are as a person. So for future college students, I'd say one thing to consider is like know who you are as a person coming into college. And obviously you want to set yourself up for success academically. So when it comes to like productivity, like would you prefer being up early and having your classes end early? Or would you rather get up a little later but have a longer day? Especially since you have so much control over your schedule. I think that's the best thing, like compared to high school. I hated being in school like 8 hours a day. But in college, you're like in class for an hour or two and you get to like do what you want, grab some food, maybe have another class. So that freedom when it comes to your schedule is definitely useful and use it well. And I feel like all of your expectations may be very far from what actually happens in college. Have fun, but like also constantly challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone, because I feel like that's when you learn the most and you're able to grow the most. And then take any opportunity that comes your way, even if you feel you're unready or uneasy about it. Don't worry, because you'll adjust and you'll get through it. And I think that's what makes it so much more fun. And you'll learn from your mistakes. And I think overall, stay positive, stay optimistic. It'll all be okay. And the last thing I'll know is if you're able to, I would suggest go to college away from home, wherever you grew up, wherever your like home city, hometown is, because I feel like it's so nice to be able to like live on your own and learn how you live as a person without your parents' opinions constantly affecting your judgment and what you're thinking of things. Obviously they're always there to help and support you, but even if it's just like, for me, like home is only an hour and a half away, but I feel like just living away from home has been very, very good. But other than that, any questions, please ask. I'm open to discuss any topics and happy to share anything.